What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today we're talking about William Nylander once again. Who knew? Who thought? But there's a little bit of new information regarding that, something that we kind of glanced over, something that we didn't really talk about. That's a little bit interesting, and I want to know if you guys heard about it. So if you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here, getting closer and closer to 14,000 subscribers. Why don't we get to 15 or 20K if you're new? I see you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Like I said, I would just greatly appreciate that. Trying to make this my full-time gig. I love making content. Lots of videos on the channel now. Lots coming. Another thing that can help you out, use Manscaped, 20% off. Use my code APH at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. That's code APH at Manscaped for 20% off and free shipping. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Let's get into the part that everybody's here for, probably for whatever the title of this video is. And, excuse me, it's probably along the lines of that the Maple Leafs tried to trade William Nylander already this offseason. And to some people, they're like, yeah, whatever, we kind of figured that. But the discussions that's been in the public with, you know, when Brad Treliving was announced as GM, and even with Brendan Shanahan when he was doing his presser, and even kind of with Kyle Dubas, was that the Maple Leafs have made it very clear that they're comfortable coming back with their core four once again. And I know people hate the term core four, but that's exactly what it is. They're spending a lot of money on four players that they believe can take them to the next level. Now, they won a round. That's great improvement, but then they got just like dusted in the second round. They got destroyed. So I figured, okay, now it's time. They got to make a move. Unfortunately, I love these guys. I'm a big Nylander fan. I'm a big Matthews fan. Marner, Tavares, whatever. And then when you narrow it down, okay, well, Tavares has a full no move. He's not going anywhere. You know, surely they're not trading Matthews. And now that he's signed an extension, that's even more apparent. And Mitch Marner also just has a modified no trade clause that just kicked in. I believe it might even be a no trade clause, like a full one. So William Nylander is left with the modified no trade clause with a 10-team list. So it makes it even more difficult. The Leafs showed their hand, showing that they were comfortable bringing these guys back. And for the most part, with the cap going up in the coming years, that's not really a problem, especially with Tavares. His number is going to go down. Whatever his number goes down, you're probably giving that little bit of extra to guys like Matthews and Marner and potentially Nylander. But there's just been too much talk about Nylander and the Leafs not agreeing to a contract that it kind of doesn't make sense that there hasn't really been any concrete trade rumors when it comes to if William Nylander was available or if the Leafs were considering it. Well, it looks like on Sportsnet 650's Halford and Burrow, I believe that's how to pronounce the name. Excuse me, I'm not disrespectful. Just I haven't watched the show frequently enough. I do apologize. But he was on Sportsnet 650 on that show. Elliot Friedman was, and he was talking about the fact that the Maple Leafs might have actually been floating Nylander's name around a little bit. They might have actually been looking to see what they could get in a trade for him, which is very surprising because, like I said, it's been very, very apparent that the Maple Leafs have been kind of backing off of, oh, Nylander's available, because he's only got that 1 year left, which we'll look at that. And any team that's going to be trying to acquire him will think, okay, well, the Leafs are dangling him, which means that they've tried to sign him because we've heard that they want to keep him. So the trade packages will probably be not as good. They don't have to give up as much. And this is what Elliot Friedman was saying about it. We'll get to that in just a second. Taking a quick break to let you guys know about the sponsor of this video, Manscaped. Hockey season is coming up, and we all know it's important to stay fresh and protected on and off the ice. And well, Manscaped is here to help us do that. I've got the Performance Package 4.0 with me. I've even got my travel bag, and it's perfect for the dressing room. Inside holds the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. It features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to help reduce accidents down there. using its advanced skin-safe technology. It's also waterproof and has an LED spotlight for a more precise shave. Next up is a game changer, and that is the Weed Whacker Nose Hair Trimmer. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and has proprietary skin-safe technology. That's going to help nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate nose holes. You're also getting the Crop Preserver below the waist deodorant and Crop Reviver below the waist toner. And like I mentioned earlier, Manscaped threw in 2 free gifts with the Performance Package 4.0. That is the Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Get 20% off and free shipping with my code APH at manscaped.com. That's APH for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Now back to the video. So on the website Hockey Latest here, thank you for posting this quote. His words were, "I think the Maple Leafs just decided to keep him for this year. I think they looked at trading him. I don't think they liked what was out there. I mean, he did score 40 goals last year. He's a really talented guy. And in the playoffs, he was involved in a couple of their really successful moments against Tampa Bay. I think they know that and recognize that they didn't like what was out there in the trade market. So it's clear as day that the Maple Leafs have at least talked to certain teams. They've at least had some talks. And I think Chris Johnston as well from TSN and SDPN was talking about the fact that the Leafs might have had a few conversations, but not liking what was truly out there in the trade market for William Nylander services. And I really can't blame them, because you can make a move like this. And we've seen it happen time and time again where a team will go, well, you know, we could trade this star forward and we'll get back this other player that might have like a little bit of upside and we'll get him locked in and whatever. And it usually goes sideways. And you can't just throw a guy like Nylander on the market and just go, well, this is probably the best offer, we'll take it. This is a guy that really impacts your lineup. So you have to get that impact style of player back. But again, the main part of this, and I'm going to be talking about this in a video that you guys made some trade suggestions about, is that the Maple Leafs dangling Nylander out there even a little bit and having discussions means that they truly feel like if they have to move him, they will. And you've heard William Nylander talk even with Elliot Friedman saying, you know, like, I didn't hear anything about being traded. I don't really feel like I'm going to be traded. So maybe this stuff isn't true, but I do trust Elliot Friedman and a lot of other reporters out there. But it's very, very telling that the Maple Leafs are at least considering the fact that this deal might not get done. If Nylander's camp still wants that really high number and the Leafs camp is like, no, we can't get to that number, then they're going to have to talk less years, which it seems like they did the same thing with Matthews. But what if Nylander's camp doesn't want that? What if they want the long-term deal? I'm wondering if the Leafs turn and go, look, if we can't discuss this 8-year deal, we're going to discuss a 3 to 5 year deal, and then you're going to give us a number in the 3 to 5 years about what you want, or we'll see where your value is at, because we're not going to agree to this number. And because the cap is going up, players are trying to get as much as possible in the cap percentage, and it's been widely reported that Nylander's agent and him said if, you know, other players are not going to take a discount, then he's not going to either, which I guess is fair, but it might price him out of Toronto. And the problem with trading Nylander is not this number, this 6.9, because his numbers and the way he's produced is far superior to this 6.9. With trading William Nylander, teams are going to be looking to get him signed to an extension. And if Nylander submits a 10-team no trade, and it's all of the teams that have a ton of cap space, well, the Leafs are also handcuffed in that aspect as well, because if the Leafs aren't getting back significant cap in a trade with teams that aren't on that list, then it's gonna handcuff them. Like they're not gonna be able to, teams are not gonna be able to afford Nylander and then his upcoming deal in the coming years. So there's a lot of different little aspects to this that make it very difficult to trade William Nylander, and especially because he does have that modified no trade clause. I have to check that again, but I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah, it kicked in literally July 1st. So modified no trade with a 10-team no trade list. So this is going to be difficult. And again, if the Leafs did have some negotiations and thought, well, we don't really like what we have out there, and Nylander's agent gets a hold of that, he'll go, well, now you got to sign my player because you're not getting back what you want to get back, and you don't want to lose him for nothing if he plays out this year and doesn't have a contract. So I just wish the Leafs wouldn't have these distractions going into the season, because I really do want this to just be done with. So let's hope that something gets done, or they find a trade that makes the most sense. And that's coming from a guy that really loves William Nylander. But if this is going to keep going, it just makes no sense. So like I mentioned to you guys before, if you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Also, sound off in the comments about William Nylander. What do you guys think about that? Trading him, maybe signing him. What's the deal look like? I know we talk about this a lot, but this is a little bit of new information here. Stick around for more content. Use code APH at Manscaped for 20% off and free shipping. That's code APH at Manscaped for 20% off and free shipping. Make sure to go click that link down below. I love and appreciate you guys as always, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.